All right, good morning, everybody. This is Richard and Dozer with the Hunter-Gatherer Society, and we are back out in the woods this Saturday, Memorial Day weekend. And we're kind of doing a hike, but we're doing a little foraging as we go. We're looking for kind of a treat this morning, and you can see a few off in the bushes there. They're a little out of my reach. I don't want to climb in. There's one of the flowers of the plant right there. Beautiful passion flower. And we are looking for the fruits of that passion flower. The plant itself is not edible. What I can find online and through different discussions that they contain some cyanide. The green fruits I'm still a little unsure of, but I have confirmed that the red fruits are edible once they turn red. And they have an odd texture to them. They've got hard seeds in them, and just right off the vine, I like them. They've got a sweet flavor to them, but they are a little bit slimy, or at least that's almost a slimy texture. And so what we found was to freeze them, and that eliminates that, and it makes actually kind of a neat little treat that you can pull out of the freezer and eat. I'm going to pull one of these off. You can see it. You can see one there that's starting to ripen, but not quite. And there's one that's not ripe at all, still green. You can see the leaves. And it is a vine that's covering a lot of this foliage here. There's a couple more flowers up in there. They're a beautiful plant. And again, these are passion flower. I'll leave it to the plant experts to look up the Latin names, because that's a little much for me to remember currently. But let's take a look at one of these berries. You can just pull them right off the vine. And then you can split them open. You can see here, they got the seeds. They're not the prettiest looking thing to eat. There you go. It's not cooperating with me at all here, but there they are. So that's the part that you eat. And some species, there's actually a thicker pulp that you can eat as well. This species, as you can see, there's no pulp to this at all. So we just eat the seeds that are covered in that sweet coating, and again, we'll just freeze them up, and they make a very interesting sweet treat. But they're all through here. You can see back in there, there's a bunch. You can see down the trail, we haven't got there yet, but there's a ton there. There's also a flower behind me. Again, more beautiful flower, like I said. One of our favorites. There's some just starting here, the green ones, and next to it there, a green one turning. Now my readings say that the little fern-looking filament around them, if I can get that to focus, actually attracts insects, and they eat insects. Now I have to do a little more research on how that works and if that is true, but that's what I understand. So kind of an interesting plant all around. But again, what I've found so far is the red, ripe fruit is what we're after. So I just wanted to share that with you. And if we find anything interesting, we'll bring you back. Dozer and I are out. Well, we've made it a little bit further along the trail. We're coming up along the lake. We've been seeing a lot of the cocoa plum bushes here, but we're not seeing much for cocoa plums. You can see there's some little berries started on here, down on here, down here. But they're all along here, kind of spread out. Beautiful day. It looks like it's going to get cloudy. It's supposed to rain later. Well, here we go. Now there's a little something. So this is the cocoa plums, and you can see here we've got some ripe ones. They're fairly small, but cocoa plums don't actually get that big anyway. But you can see this tree is actually pretty well covered with them. There's actually some passion fruit in the tree as well. So this is kind of a little buffet. There's some down in here. There's not a ton on here, but there's a few. Now for a little snack, you can see the unripe ones there next to the ripe ones. So these are cocoa plums. So you can eat the white flesh. I actually enjoy it. And you can eat the seeds as well. You gotta be careful, you don't want to crack your teeth anyway, but I just crack them on the back of my big teeth and then eat the seed, kind of like a sunflower seed. You eat the seed out of the middle, and it's kind of an almondy flavor to it, which I kind of like. There's some more just over here. There's some more passion fruit. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the camera, and I'm gonna harvest me a few of these snacks. Alright guys, well, we're back home, and this is the results of our harvest. We did pretty good, considering we haven't had any rain, but those are the cocoa plums, and quite a few there. And then these are our passion fruit, filled up a gallon bag of those. You can see they're frozen, so that's one of the things we do with these. The interior of these is a little slimy, and you know, when you pick them right off the vine, because it's the coating on these seeds that's a little bit slimy. And what we found is that if you, whoops, got a runner. If you put those in the freezer, that gets solid, and then you can pop it out of there. Yummy. And eat those seeds, and it's cold, firm. It's not slimy anymore because it's still frozen. Makes for a nice little snack. Some of the cocoa plums are in a light sugar water. So what I'm doing is starting a wild yeast starter there, and the idea will be to use some of those cocoa plums and probably some of the pulp here, or seeds, to make a fermented beverage. So just some experimenting, and that's the part of the fun of this for me, is the experimenting. I'm not afraid to throw something away if necessary, if it's not, you know, if it's not good. But honestly, that rarely happens. In Alaska, we did watermelon berries, and we made a fermented beverage. That one did get dumped. It just didn't work out. It was unpalatable. But most things, at least, turn out fairly well. So we'll do a small batch and try it out and see how it turns out. But again, that's part of the fun of it. So anyway, I just wanted to share our harvest with you. I'm going to get back to work. I'm making some sourdough bread, and I'm making some sourdough fry bread, and then getting these starters going. So thanks for tuning in, and remember, do something wild.